Ladies and gentlemen, the lighting of the Panas is a symbolic tradition that represents light, knowledge, wisdom, and the beginning of something very meaningful. As we embark on this 3-day journey of diplomacy, dialogue, and discovery, may this light remind us that every meaningful change starts with a spark of curiosity, courage, and conviction. Ladies and gentlemen, every remarkable initiative begins with a vision to create, a vision to empower, and a vision to give young people a platform where their voices can be heard. Fmun is more than just a conference. It is a platform where young minds come together to question, listen, negotiate, and understand the world beyond the boundaries of their own perspectives. As we embark on this third edition of Fmun, we begin not simply with an event, but with a shared vision to nurture young individuals who can think critically, communicate purposefully, embrace diverse perspectives, and lead with responsibility, empathy, and courage. And every meaningful journey begins with a vision. Today, we are privileged to hear from a leader whose vision and commitment continue to shape opportunities that empower our students to think bigger, speak with purpose, and lead with confidence. It is therefore my distinct honor and privilege to invite our respected Managing Director, Mr. Elish Ranabat, to deliver a welcome address and formally welcome us to Fmun 3.0 presented by Australian Catholic University. Let's welcome him with a warm round of applause.
Thank you, Sneha. Honorable Chief Guest, respected Chairman, Sir, Vice Chairman, distinguished guest, representative from ACU University, all the representative from Central Papson, our school principal, and as the protocol has already been established, I would like to address shortly the more importantly, the MUN Secretariat. And today's charm of this event, the 700 plus young minds gathered here today. Welcome to Fmun 3.0. It is an absolute privilege on behalf of Festival Academy Ivy World School to welcome you all here at our campus. But today, I don't want to give a traditional speech, a traditional welcome speech, because this is not a traditional event. And you are not just here simply to attend another school event. You are here to represent nations, to argue ideas, to challenge assumptions, to negotiate, to disagree, and hopefully to change the way you see the world. And that matters a lot. Because the world you are going to see is going to be totally different from the world we grew up in. Artificial intelligence is changing the way we communicate, we work. Technology is changing the way we communicate with each other. Climate change is changing the way we live, and geopolitics is changing the way the nations interact. The problem of tomorrow will not come with simple answers. So what kind of people do we need? That's the bigger question we need to ask ourselves. Not people who will memorize correct answers and regurgitate. Not people who are afraid of being wrong. And definitely not people who believe that the loudest person in the room will always be the smartest. We need thinkers. We need people who can look at problem and say, what if we approach this differently? We need people who can listen to an argument who they completely disagree with and still have the intellectual maturity to understand it. Because that's what diplomacy teaches us. You don't have to agree with something to understand the perspective. And you don't have to win every argument to make progress. Sometimes the greatest achievement is finding the solution where everyone thought there only exists conflict. And that is the power of dialogue. That is the power of diplomacy. That is the power of MUN. And I want to tell you something else. Look around this courtyard. There are hundreds of students from different schools, different perspectives, different backgrounds, different circumstances, and different experiences. Some of you will become doctors, some of you will become engineers, some of you will become social media influencers, some of you will become vloggers, some of you will become teachers, some of you will become diplomats, and some of you will create jobs that doesn't even exist today. But among this, there will be someone who will be sitting in the United Nations. Among this someone, there will be someone who will represent in the United Nations. Someone who will develop technology that will change millions of lives. Someone who will lead a company that will change an entire industry. And someone who will solve problems that don't even exist today. And we don't know who that person is. And that's the exciting part, isn't it? Because it can be one of you. And that's what Fistel truly represents to the younger generation. And that is why we are incredibly proud to host all of you in our campus, because we see a vision, we see a purpose, we see an ambition to empower the young generation. The world they will be inheriting in the coming days, which will be totally changing with the influence of AI and technology. So think beyond what already exists of. It belongs, as the future, it doesn't belong to those who can predict it. It always belongs to those who have the courage to build for it. And that's what we, as the representative of Fistel Academy, commit to the future generation of Nepal and our society. So this past coming 3 days, take all your knowledge, take all your perspective, and have that ability to understand each other and work for it. So happy debating, happy making memories, and thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for those inspiring words and for setting the tone for what promises to be an extraordinary edition of Fistel Mmun 3.0, represented by Australian Catholic University. Ladies and gentlemen, an occasion as vibrant as this deserves to be celebrated not only through words, but also through art, movement, music, and expression. And what better way to celebrate the beginning of this remarkable journey than with a performance that captures the energy, diversity, and the spirit of Fistel Mmun. So please sit back, enjoy the rhythm, and let the stage come alive. Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to a moment that holds great significance in every Model United Nations conference, the gavel. The gavel is more than simply a symbol of authority. It represents leadership, responsibility, discipline, and the power to guide with meaningful dialogue. With every strike of the gavel, a session is called to order. Voices are given space to be heard, and diplomacy takes the center stage. And today, as we prepare for formally embark upon this journey of the Fistel Mmun 3.0 presented by Australian Catholic University, it is time to pass this symbol of leadership into the hands of the person entrusted with guiding this conference. It is now my honor to invite our Secretary General, Mr. Shakshim Karki, to lead the gavel giving ceremony. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sneha. Okay. Good morning, everyone. So we have now come to a moment that holds a great significance in every MUN. The gavel is more than simply a symbol of authority. It represents leadership, responsibility, discipline, and the power to guide meaningful dialogue. With every strike of a gavel, a session is called to order. Voices are given to be heard, and diplomacy takes stage. And today, as we prepare to formally embark upon the journey of Fistel Mmun 3.0, presented by Australian Catholic University. It's time to pass this symbol of leadership into the hands of the person entrusted with guiding this conference. To do the honor, may I invite our chief guest, Mr. Kuman Singh, and distinguished guest, Mr. Sudeep Aryal, sir, to the stage. I invite Ruby Thavalia, the President of United Nations Human Rights Council, UNHRC. Thank you. May I invite Darshan Adhikari, Chairperson of SOCOM. May I invite Aman Dahal, Chairperson of International Monetary Fund, IMF. May I invite Oiga Khatka, Chairperson of UNEA. May I invite Anupriya, Chairperson of United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF. May I invite Chairperson of WTO, Divyam Jha. May I invite President of Fmun, Nishay Sakhya. May I invite the Chairperson of UNODC, Shreyasi Bhandari. May I invite the Head of IPC, Avik Joshi. May I invite Samyek of FPN, Kusal Goyri. May I invite President of UNSC, Samatha Thapa. May I invite co-chairs of NATO, Swarna Puladhar and Jenisa Karki. May I invite Chairperson of SPECCO, Ayush Shrestha. May I invite President of FSC, Arpit Upadhyay. May I invite Chairperson of DISIC, Samyek Bikram Karki. May I invite Chairperson of WHO, Ipsa Lamisane. May I invite Chairperson of UNDP, Mimasa Khanal. May I invite the Chairperson of CCPCJ, Anubhav Singh. May I invite the Chairperson of ECOFIN, Adarsh Jha. May I invite Chairperson of UNFPA, Garima Ranjit. May I invite the Chairperson of ILO, Ridhima Agrawal. May I invite the Chairperson of UNESCO, Arnav Ranjit. So that's the end of our gavel giving ceremony. I'd like to thank all the guests, and the guests may return back to their respective seats. And I would also like to thank the DIAS members as well. And I would like to hand over the mic to Sneha.
Thank you to our esteemed DIAS and Secretary General, Mr. Sakshim Karki, for making this important moment in the journey of official MUN 3.0 presented by Australian Catholic University. Ladies and gentlemen, as we proceed forward, it is a great privilege for us to hear from a distinguished leader whose experience and service continue to contribute to the development of our community. It is my profound honor to invite our chief guest, Mr. Kuman Singh, Chief District Officer, Kaski, to address this gathering and share his valuable thoughts and words of encouragement to our delegates.
Thank you very much. Good morning and namaste. यो कार्यक्रमको अध्यक्ष एवं फेस्टल एकाडेमी आइबी ओल्डका आदरणीय अध्यक्षज्यू, त्यसै गरी कार्यक्रममा उपस्थित रहनुभएका आदरणीय अतिथिज्यूहरू र यो कार्यक्रममा सहभागी रहनुभएका शिक्षकहरू, विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू सबैलाई मेरो व्यक्तिगत तर्फबाट र प्रमुखशिला अधिको तर्फबाट हार्दिक नमस्कार अभिवादन व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु। सर्वप्रथम त यो कार्यक्रममा निम्ता दिनुभयो र आफ्ना केही कुरा राख्ने अवसर दिनुभयो, त्यसका लागि म आयोजक संस्थाप्रति हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु। यहाँहरूलाई अवगत नै छ प्रमुख जिल्ला अधिकारीले केही विषय केही रोल र अथोरिटिजहरू हुन्छ मेनली तीनटा कुराहरू हुन्छ एउटा पिस एन्ड सेक्युरिटी मेन्टेन गर्ने विषय रहन्छ अर्को डेभलपमेन्ट म्यानेजमेन्टमा कोअर्डिनेसन गर्ने रहेको हुन्छ भने अर्को सर्भिस डेलिभरीमा सहजीकरण गर्ने र त्यसलाई व्यवस्थापन गर्ने विषय रहेको हुन्छ पक्कै पनि विद्यालयसँग यो विषयहरू कनेक्ट नै हुन्छ र यहाँ चाहिँ धेरै विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू सहभागी भइराख्नु भएको चाहिँ छ र यो बर्खाको समय धेरै घटनाहरू विपदका घटनाहरू घटिरहेको अवस्था चाहिँ छ पक्कै पनि विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू र शिक्षकहरूले त्यो विषयलाई ख्याल गर्नुहुन्छ भन्ने मैले अपेक्षा राखेको छु यहाँहरूले भर्खरै विभिन्न घटनाहरू देखिराख्नु भएको छ बाढीका कारणले पहिरोका कारणले धेरैको ज्यान गुमाउनु परेको चाहिँ छ एकदम यङ जेनेरेसनका 14-15 वर्षका बच्चाहरूले ज्यान गुमाउनु परेको अवस्था छ त्यसका लागि स्कुलले अभिभावक र विद्यार्थीले पक्कै पनि त्यो विषयलाई ख्याल गर्नुहुन्छ र आफ्नो अमूल्य जीवनको चाहिँ संरक्षण गर्नुहुनेछ भन्ने मैले अपेक्षा गरेको चाहिँ छु र फिस्टल एकाडेमीको विषय र यो स्कुलको विषय म 2-4 वर्षदेखि कन्ट्याक्ट छु मेरो बच्चा पनि यही अध्ययन गर्ने भएको कारणले यसको विषयमा केही चाहिँ मलाई जानकारी पनि छ र स्कुलले राम्रो गरिराख्नु भएको छ र शिक्षकहरूले र अभिभावकहरूले आफ्ना बालबच्चाको नर्सरिङ राम्रो गरिराखेको छ त्यसका लागि म हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु र विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूलाई एउटा थाहा भएको विषय नै हो यो चाहिँ एरा चाहिँ टेक्नोलोजीको एरा हो है आर्टिफिसियल इन्टेलिजेन्स अनि त्यसपछि डिजिटल टेक्नोलोजी र सोसियल मिडियाका कारणले विभिन्न विषयहरू आइराखेका चाहिँ छन् यसको सही प्रयोग चाहिँ गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने चाहिँ हो म चाहिँ यहाँहरूलाई के अनुरोध गर्छु भने यसमा धेरै हैन त्यसमा धेरै समय जुन चाहिँ आफ्नो फाइदाका लागि र आफ्नो भविष्यका लागि पक्कै पनि यहाँहरूले खर्चिनु हुनेछ र आजको क्षमता विकासले हैन आजको नियम कानुनको पालनाले पक्कै पनि उहाँको भविष्य भोलि उज्जवल हुन्छ स्वर्णिम हुन्छ त्यसका लागि म शुभकामना दिन चाहन्छु र यो विद्यालयले एमयुएन जुन तेस्रो भर्सन चलाइरहेको छ यो भर्सनको एकदम धेरै शुभकामना दिन चाहन्छु र आगामी दिनमा पनि अरू भर्सनहरू पनि यहाँले मजाले सञ्चालन गर्नुहुनेछ र एउटा स्कुललाई र विद्यार्थीहरूलाई एउटा नयाँ अनुभव नयाँ गन्तव्य प्रदान गर्नुहुन्छ यति भन्दै मलाई यो अवसर दिनुभयो त्यसका लागि म यहाँहरुप्रति हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त गर्दै मेरा भनाइ अन्त गर्छु हस् धन्यवाद नमस्कार
Thank you, sir. Sir, may I kindly request you to come back to the stage as we will have the honor of presenting you with the token of love as a small gesture of our appreciation and gratitude for gracing this occasion with your esteemed presence. Ladies and gentlemen, we now turn our attention to the young leader who stands at the heart of this conference. Beyond every successful MUN lies a team that works tirelessly to transform an idea into an experience. And at the great front of that journey is the Secretary General. The Secretary General is not simply a title. It represents leadership, responsibility, vision, and the ability to bring people together from around a shared purpose. For official MUN 3.0 presented by Australian Catholic University, that responsibility has been entrusted to someone who has worked with a dedication and determination to bring this conference to life. It is now my privilege to invite our Secretary General, Mr. Sakshim Karki, to address his gathering and shared vision, expectations, and message for official MUN 3.0 presented by Australian Catholic University.
Before I commence with my speech, I would like to request the ACU representative, Mr. Mitham Guras sir, to share some of his wiseful words with us. Please come to the stage, sir. We'd like to invite you to the stage.
Thank you for inviting the Australian Catholic University, and thank you for inviting me and my colleague Rajina Pandey to this wonderful school, the Fishtail Academy and IB School. My name is Mithun Gururaj. I'm the regional manager of the Global Engagement Team at ACU in Australia. Well, I arrived from Brisbane just yesterday, but what a delight it is to see so many students in this wonderful city of Pokhara. It's my first time coming to Pokhara. I've only landed in Kathmandu and probably flew off in the previous years. But so excited to see the wonderful work the United Nations Development Programme and the MUN community is doing here in Pokhara. They say there are certain things that are very ironic that must happen ACU has been supporting the Model United Nations program in Sri Lanka, Colombo for the last 2 years. And when we got in touch with the Fishtail Academy to do some academic engagement, we were told that the Model United Nations is in its 3rd year of representation here in Pokhara. And ironically, I was here yesterday. I arrived here yesterday, and I'm going to stay here for 3 days. And the Fishtail Academy is hosting MUN for 3 days exactly. So when things have to happen, they do happen. I'm absolutely amazed by the theme, dialogue, diplomacy, and delivery. I think it's a very important subject, especially in today's world, in today's crisis that we're seeing in West Asia. A problem that is not going away in Russia and Ukraine, and a whole heap of challenges that the world is facing. And war is not the solution, war is not the answer. War was never the point in itself. Dialogue and diplomacy is probably the only way, and the next generation probably is the best set to deliver the dialogue and diplomacy. On that note, I'd like to congratulate Fishtail Academy for a wonderful next 3 days setup, a great theme for all of you to think about, and most importantly, for me personally, thank you for having the Australian Catholic University, part of this wonderful community, part of this family. I look forward to seeing the proceedings. I will be back here tomorrow and also for the closing ceremony on Sunday, and I'm truly, truly honored to be here in Pokhara. Thank you very much. See you very soon.
Thank you so much, sir, for your heartfelt speech. Good morning, everyone, distinguished guests, member of executive boards, secretariat, and delegates. Welcome to Fmun 3.0. I will be keeping this speech quite short because we have to go to our committees as well. So when we started planning this conference, we had some kind of number in our mind, and we crossed it. 700 delegates, honorable executive boards and delegates. Currently in this conference, we have 700 delegates representing different countries. Different perspectives, and different approaches to issues that will be debated over the next 3 days. And honestly speaking, getting a conference of this scale to run perfectly is a challenge. So before anything else, I want to address something directly to every one of you all. With this many delegates, there may be some kind of logistical issue today. There may be some delays, confusion regarding allocations, committee-related issues, or things that simply doesn't go to plan. But for that, we are truly sorry. But more importantly, we are already working on it. If something isn't right today, bring it to us. Don't let a logistical issue become an entire conference experience. Approach your chairs, your secretary, and member of the organizing team. We will fix it. And we expect the majority of this issue to be resolved by tomorrow. But once the door to the committee is closed, the responsibility shifts from the OC to the dais and the delegates. Dais will run the room, and delegates, you will make this room. For the next 3 days, there will be disagreements, there will be different kind of negotiations, unexpected turns, and probably a few moments where absolutely nothing goes to plan. But that's how MUN really is. So don't come here trying to have a perfect conference at all. Come here to make an impact. If you have something to say it. Don't hesitate. If you disagree, challenge it. If you have a better idea, defend it. And remember, the best delegate in the room isn't necessarily the one who speaks the most. It's the one who knows when to speak, what to say, and when to listen. The Secretariat has spent months preparing for these 3 days. Now it's your turn. 700 delegates have walked through these doors. By the time we close them, I hope every single one of you has left something behind. An argument, an idea, or resolution are simply a moment worth remembering. So with that, with the power vested upon me, I, Saksam Karki, as the Secretary General of Fmun 3.0, declare this conference officially open.